Welcome back for those that went with us into the break to this special broadcast, Presidential Nominations 2025. Today, of course, we are expecting to see the President, who is the incumbent and also chairman of the governing party, the National Resistance Movement, go to the head office of the Electoral Commission, where he is expected to be nominated. We also expect to see the nomination of two other aspirants, and after that is done, we shall also see tomorrow the nomination of other candidates, or other aspirants. I must be very specific, including Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu of the National Unity Platform and Nathan Nandala Mafabi of the Forum for Democratic Change. We are keeping tabs on all these stories in order for us to bring you 360-degree coverage of the nominations as fever pitch begins to hold the country as we gear up for the 2026 presidential, parliamentary, as well as local government elections. Today, the spotlight is on the nominations and indeed the shifting trends in Uganda's political landscape. What has been happening ever since elections became a constant in our political system? Who are the actors who have stayed? Who are the actors who have chosen to take the back bench, so to speak, and out of the spotlight? Are they cooking, or are they offering much needed perspective? When I talk about offering much needed perspective as well as guidance on the political actors who are here now, we shall be speaking to a man who, of course, is an elder in the game. Welcome with me on board John Ken Luchamuzi, the president of the Conservative Party and a long-standing actor on Uganda's political landscape. You're welcome to this special broadcast. Ideally, on a normal day, it would be morning at NTV, but because of the nominations that we have at hand, it's a special broadcast. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm also excited to be here.
How are you doing?
After some time. And I do thank you very much for the quality of broadcasting we see from time to time.
Thank you.
I hope you keep it while it lasts.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
We also have with us Mandy Akol, Pan-Africanist and political analyst. Thank you for joining us.
The pleasure is mine, and
Great.
I'm also happy to be on the same panel with John Ken, the man. Yes.
Okay. Apologies for my confusion. You are clad in what borders on yellow, but is not actually yellow. Looks more like you're going forward.
Maybe if I was in Kenya, you'd say I'm a member of ODM.
ODM, okay. Interesting there.
Yeah, but these are just colors.
Nonetheless,
Yes.
Perfectly understandable. Let me begin with the Honorable John Ken Luchamuzi. Today, the nominations are happening, and
no,
President...
not at all.
Not at all?
We have been confirmed to be nominatable, save that we got the notice very, very short, very late.
Okay.
And we are a political party that is one of the oldest political parties in Uganda. We have a right to be respected. We should have notice to prepare.
That is right.
So we have proposed before the Electoral Commission that we can only be ready as from tomorrow.
You can only be ready?
As from tomorrow.
As from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Has the Electoral Commission heeded to that?
They have not responded yet, but we hope they will respond.
What if the Electoral Commission does not respond as you want?
They should communicate to us in good time, but not to force us to heed to programs which violate fundamental human rights.
What violations have been?
It has been a tussle for our candidate to be nominated. The signatures change here and there. After all that scuffle, we deserve respect by being slaughtered for a nominatable date, befitting us. I'm talking about rights and liberties of political parties, which feature prominently under Article 71 of the Constitution.
Okay. I insist, and Mandy Akol, please do forgive me for this, but I insist because there has been a clear roadmap that was rolled out by the Electoral Commission that all the other parties have been part of. Why do you want the exceptional treatment?
It is not exceptional per se. We have extraordinary problems. For example, the Conservative Party has not got its money allocated to it by Parliament under the iPod scenario. So we should be respected for that matter. Why do you slot a date which is inconvenient to us in view of the problems you know about us? We are only begging the Electoral Commission with humility to find it fit for us to be nominated tomorrow.
All right.
Until we hear from them, we also take it for granted that they will respect our demand.
Interesting development.
And if they don't respect our demand, we may go to court and sue them in pursuance of our rights.
Monday, a call. This is a very interesting development. What's your take?
Well, I wish to respond to John Kendeman, because ideally election is a process, and a process that begins with the registration of voters, the laws, and then the Electoral Commission coming up with now a program.
That is right.
That everybody must fit in.
Maybe
now,
before you continue, my apologies again. Allow me welcome on board Raymond Kamgisha, the Director of Presidential Initiatives at State House. You are welcome to this special broadcast. We are focusing on the presidential nominations that are starting today, and we'll be hearing from you a little bit later, please.
Yeah, so the Electoral Commission comes up with a program, and it is very important that as players, political players,
that's right,
should actually follow the program. Otherwise, if everybody is going to come up with their own program to impose it on the Electoral Commission, then it's going to be a little bit hard and tough. So if we are to have a credible and a peaceful election, it's always good that we follow what the referee tells us. We should follow the referee. But away from that, yes.
I think I would like to put you right.
Maybe allow me finish, then you can.
Okay, let him submit, and then you'll also
so
respond.
I wish to say that, with the nominations that we are really going to have, yeah, we are saying that most of the political players have actually fallen off along the way, especially at presidential level.
Okay.
And the only constant person here we're seeing it is NRM and President Yoweri Museveni since from 1996, because we find that from 1996 to date, he is the person who has been on the ballot. The first three elections we had in 1996, 2001, 2006, you realize that most of the people who competed with him are actually no longer as active, perhaps as active. Because in 1996 we had the late Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogeri, and then we had Muhammad Mayanja, and then President Yoweri Museveni. So in the nominations we are going to, or we are about to have, we are seeing that there are a number of things that actually are changing, because, for example, on the side of the opposition, we realize that we are having a new face since 2011, and actually that becomes still, things are not going to change much. We are going to still see that it is going to be yellow versus red in this election that we are going to have.
Okay, we shall delve a little bit deeper into the constants and the changing aspects, especially when it comes to who is who in as far as the political actors are concerned. But Honorable Richams, you wanted to clarify. I don't know whether it's too correct.
I wanted to give him information.
Give him information.
That what is peculiar in regard to the Conservative Party is seemingly understandable. It's not a question of proposing that we have to heed to the Electoral Commission, but we have a peculiar point which should be addressable by the conditions of participation in this game. In this game.
Interesting there. Raymond Kamgisha.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Director, Presidential Initiatives. The President is being nominated today.
Yes,
there is a rally that has been planned at the Kololo Independence Grounds.
Yes, sir.
If what we see on the roads, the erecting of placards and other celebratory infrastructure, some makeshift, is anything to go by, this is going to be a big thing. Tell us about today's plans.
I think it's more of a celebration than a nomination. Why? President Yoweri Museveni, if you've been following Ugandan politics for some time, he has been very instrumental in this country. So some people, so many Ugandans, you know, Uganda, if you go to the economy, you know how it was and what we have gone through as a country to improve. If you look at the infrastructure, you look at so many things, health sector, much as there's room to improve, but you'll find that, for example, like life expectancy in Uganda now we're at about 68 or so, which was in 40s. So Ugandans are living longer. Go to, you know, the general, I don't need to tell you a lot of things, just move around. People are developing everywhere. We have now 11 cities and more coming. So it is more of a celebration of the person who has like put together the security of this country. Those who know history, like John Ken the man, you know what we went through as a country. So it is more of a celebration, and even the younger generation now have been ushered into this, and they have seen a few things that are happening in this country. So that's why I'm saying it is more of a celebration than anything. So it will be massive, I can predict. It will be big, yeah. And that is it. Okay,
I wanted to give him some information. Those people may be living longer, but in hardships.
Okay.
Yeah. It is one thing to last for some time when you are in a hardship.
You're in hardship. Okay, that's...
You see John Ken the man. I don't think there's anybody who they can tell, even if the richest man on earth, if you're told that if it is your day and God says, let me add you some 3 days in exchange of all you have, I think they can give it in. So let's celebrate life. It is the parameters.
Yep.
So I don't think you should be politicking this morning, but life expectancy, John Ken the man, it is at 60 and improving, by the way.
Okay. In light of the discussion as we have it this morning, I would love that we understand where we are coming from, especially with this nomination process. And since we have a leader of a party with us this morning, it's a question that we would love to put to you. Has there or was there a comprehensive consultative process in designing every aspect of the nomination, including aspects of rallies, security, and how communication ought to be made, especially in the conduct of the rallies after nomination? Is it a directive that you have on paper as a political party that when this particular day comes, this is how you are expected to conduct yourselves? Do we have a standard?
There isn't such a standard, and we are perplexed to see what is happening, because ordinarily when you talk about a presidential election, when you talk about a general election, when you talk about presidential nominations, that exercise is humane and should carry the respect it deserves. It is extraordinary for one to be nominated. After nomination, you silence him or her. He or she cannot talk publicly to his supporters. It is absurd.
So every candidate is entitled to a rally after being nominated, is that right?
Immediately after nomination, every presidential candidate should be able to make some address of some kind. But we see Mr. Kamugisha fidgeting about Kororo as if Kororo is going to be dominant for every political party. This is participation in a political arena where each political party should feel the independence of articulating its aspirations after nomination. We are not seeing that exercise in front of us.
For neutrality purposes here, let me put this question to Mbarara. When the police tells some opposition figures, and we should be very specific here, the leader of the National Unity Platform had suggested a venue, not suggested, but had chosen a venue where to hold a rally after the nomination tomorrow, and the police said that place is not conducive for such an activity, which is a political rally. But there's an activity that is going to go on today at the Kololo ceremonial grounds, and it has the ability to affect business across Kololo ceremonial ground hinterland. I do not know how this comes through, especially when you look at the standards applied for one candidate versus those that apply for another. Very quickly, we'll have to go live to our reporter.
Well, I must say that the police and the security agencies, for purposes of fairness, should be seen to be fair in terms of giving out guidelines, in terms of giving protection. But however, we must also appreciate the fact that during elections, the security organs are charged with the security and safety of the candidates and their supporters. So if in their wisdom they really advise that, look here, this place is not conducive, perhaps go for place B, at times we must also cooperate, as of course as we engage them further, because it's not only happening maybe here in Uganda. We've also seen it in Kenya, we've also seen it in Tanzania, that at times you find that yes, they may guide on the candidates, but also the other thing we must also understand is that the incumbent and the people who are opposing, who are competing against the incumbent, will not get the same treatment, because the other is a candidate, but is also president,
head of state.
So the security given to him is definitely takes precedence as compared to the other candidates. So this is something that we really need to understand, that our law allows that you have a candidate who is also an incumbent. Maybe if we had a law that says, no, you first step aside, perhaps the treatment would be uniform. So if we shouldn't expect that there will be uniform treatment. Then the other thing is also, in terms of numbers, the support. Because now, if you have a mass party that has millions of supporters, and you also have a party like my brother, my elder here, you have a party that is only in Rubaga, you're not going to get the same kind of that. You're not going to get the
Why
same
are you
kind
saying
of
that?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
No. I'm saying that where the support base, because this comes from the background that during your active time, we find that CP had representation in Rubaga. That is why that became your stronghold, and perhaps
even now as we speak, there are parties with a single representation in parliament, and they are nationally represented.
No. National representation must be seen in terms of
Mande Akol and Honorable John Kenry Chamzi. We shall allow you contest that particular reality a little bit later. Allow me go to my colleague Rashul Adidi, who is standing by in Koboko, and of course bringing us up to speed with the goings on there in light of the political season gaining momentum. Good morning, Rashul Adidi. I see you are fighting off the attentions of the locals there. No doubt it's a special broadcast and their interest is understandable.
Another good morning to you in the studio and those who are watching us this morning. Of course, today we have continued to give you our 360 coverage, and on our bold, as we take our bold mandate, we're seeing today the presidential candidates starting their nominations across the country. And officially today we shall be seeing President Kaguta Museveni, who is the NRM flag bearer, having him nominated. We want to seek for the views of the people here, and currently I'm coming to you live from Koboko municipality, where duty has called me this morning. I I want to find out the views of the people here in this particular municipality to find out what is the kind of the president that they would wish to see in the next 5 years. Good morning, sir. You can push. Good morning.
Morning, sir. Yes.
Today we're officially seeing the nomination of the presidential candidates kicking off, and President Kaguta Museveni, who is the NRM flag bearer, will be having his nominations today. Tell us, what kind of presidents would you people wish to see in the next 5 years? If that is your name?
My name is Alemeriga Omar. I'm the field officer here in the municipality under Koboko Municipality Tax Operators. I feel good this morning seeing that our president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is the flag bearer of the NRM party, I wish in the coming 5 years we feel like he has to continue. Let God give him that power for the coming 5 years, such that we can enjoy the peace which he has given us, and even the stability, the power that he has injected to us to continue for the coming 5 years. Yes.
Maybe what are some of the things that you'd wish him to do? Because this is a border district. You have been seeing some of the drivers being killed. There's insecurity. Yet you have been seeing the agreement with South Sudan. What are some of the issues that you'd wish the next presidents to do, especially in relation to security at the borders?
Yes. One of the issues that we are facing here in these borders, we have our fellow drivers for the 2 to 3 years that we are facing here is that in the security in Ilegu border and even this Oraba Kaya border, we so far lost like 10 drivers which entered into ambush, and some of their drivers, the vehicles which sometimes were burned. And I'm urging the government, the current government, which is the under NRM party, he should provide us the security, and even he should inject that mentality of engaging the South Sudanese SPLM government and the current
let
government.
me also engage another person, if my camera person can post.
Yes.
We are seeing these nominations kicking off in the country, and tomorrow we shall be seeing Robert Chagulanyi, who is the National Unity Platform candidate, also being nominated. However, what I need to tell you is Koboko also has one candidate who is running for presidential. That is Mr. Muto, who is also aspiring to lead this country. We want to find out the views of the people here. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Morning. Thank you very much for this interview. I'm Qualitative Innocent Ratib, a taxi driver here in Koboko.
So what kind of president would you wish to see in the next 5 years? And we're seeing the nominations across the country kicking off today.
What I want to tell you that here no change. No change. We want our current president to continue for these 5 years, because there are things like he has done for us in yoga. So what I want to urge is that our money for yoga is very little. I want him to continue this 5 years so that he adds for us more money, so that we taxi drivers we benefit many, because we are many, the money is very little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me sample more people. The people that you see at my background, of course, early morning they're already in their pool trying to see how they can also have some game around. But of course, let me talk to the last person here and see what they are going to say. Good morning, sir. Okay, this one has refused. Let me sample one last one. Habari asubuhi.
Mzuri sana, habari gani asubuhi? Yeah.
Tunaona sasa candidates wanaenda ku contest asa president nomination yao naanja leo. Tunataka jua kama nyinyi watu ya Koboko president mnamtaka kama mwaka 5 yuko president namna gani? Anje na jina yako angalia.
Okay, jina yangu anaita mimi Richard ya Jiga. Na mimi yangu hakuna part mimi iko ndani yake. Lakini nataka kuona watu ya Uganda akuwa kama sasa kitu moja, president ingine pia akuwa. Niona kambele yangu namna niliona wa president iko. Mimi ya Jiga niliona president kama 6 mwenye waligeuza mbali Uganda hapa. Lakini kama wengine hapa nafanya nomination, ati mtu mmoja ndiye anafanya nomination, siwezi kusikia karo yangu kama iko mapenzi Uganda hapa. Yeah.
Okay, let me sample the last person, and of course we also hear the views of the people here to find out what they are going to say ahead of this nomination here. Let me talk to the last person here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Hadidi.
We are seeing the nominations kicking off across the country. Today we shall be seeing the NRM flag bearer, President Kaguta Museveni, having his nomination. Today we are seeing Bob Wine and Robert Chagulanyi, and we also have a candidate who comes from Koboko. Perhaps, what kind of president would you wish to see in the next 5 years? Start with your name.
Okay, thank you. I'm called Kiseka Samson, commonly known as Uncle Mane. I'm here in Koboko, saying that it is good for all these nominations to be done in the country as well. Yeah, I think it is also good. To me, this is my suggestion, that all of them, if they have gone all into nomination, and we shall elect where we need in Koboko. Yes.
What are some of the issues that you wish to be addressed?
I'm urging the government, the current government, at least if they can see the security as well, like one of us who are here in Koboko suffering, being killed, being banned on the way to South Sudan, and other things like power. Our power is not stable, like electricity. We are here suffering, and youth as well, to be seen that all of them gets opportunity and gets to be independent in the country.
Okay. Thank you very much. Of course, this has been the views of the people here in Koboko pertaining the nominations which are kicking off officially today across the country. Today we shall be seeing one candidate, that is the NRM flag bearer, having the nominations, and tomorrow we shall be seeing the National Unity Platform candidate, that is Robert Chagulanyi, having his nominations, and of course some of the candidates will follow in subsequent days. And as NTV, we promise you 3-0 coverage as far as this year's 2026 elections are concerned. For the interest of time, allow me to let you back to my colleague in the studio to continue with Morning at ATV Show. Of course, we shall be bringing you updates across the country. Next, we shall be heading to Mbarara, where Koslin will be giving us the updates of what is currently there and what the people of Mbarara are saying. Back to my colleague in the studio, if you can hear me, right here in Koboko Municipality.
All right. Thank you very much. Rashula Didi coming to us live there from Koboko Municipality, specifically at Koboko Taxi Pool Club. I would love to start the conversation with my panelists here in the studio on the picture that we've just seen from Koboko. A set of youthful individuals playing pool table at 8:13 a.m. and they are around 15 of them. I'm not saying playing a game of pool table is a bad thing to do. I'm not saying waking up and doing what you love to do is a good thing, but it's a discussion I want to throw to my panelists today as the nation goes for the nomination exercise of presidential candidates who are supposed to align an economy to allow for citizens to be gainfully employed. What do they make of youthful individuals at 8:15 playing pool table when there are massive opportunities to be productive? Let me begin with Raymond Kamgisha.
Thank you so much.
That picture, what is your take on it?
Of course, it varies from circumstance to circumstance. You know, some of those like border districts or like in Arua, there in West Nile, people do lots of business, especially at night because of the border business that is there. So maybe someone can choose to relax over something if it's available. But for a young person to wake up morning and then you're going to do to play pool table or bet or something, it is, I think, not ethical. One needs to find something at least to work, then later maybe in the evening or something you can be able to do one or two things. Yeah. So, but of course, this goes to mindset training that we are talking about. So as the president has started an initiative called Presidential Industrial Hubs, where we skill young people, especially not all the skills that we actually talk about and value addition and what have you, but also mindset. To know that we have a country to live in, there's time for really everything. So to know that certain time I'm supposed to work, and then at a certain point I'm supposed to doing other things. So they are there across the country. Industrial hubs, we have 19 across the country and 9 skilling centers here in Kampala. It's a program I think we should all embrace so that our young people can be productive in meaningful ways, and we prepare for the cottage industry and the industrialization that is coming up.
Okay. Honorable Luchamuzi, your party must be having an agenda for the youth, including many young ones that we see unable to find productive labor opportunities. I do not know whether the nomination happens or not. There's an agenda that the Conservative Party has. What's your take?
Yeah, first of all, if we are to participate in the presidential race, we had assumed that after nomination, our presidential candidate would address people at Zana.
Zana ground?
Zana ground, yes, there's some open ground. In regard to the story which we have just seen on the screen, in law, redundancy is no longer a crime. It used to be a crime during the colonial days. But now you cannot say because people are not doing any particular activity, then they must be arrested. No, that is...
No, I didn't suggest they should be arrested. I was appalled at the fact that they are actually not doing anything.
Yeah, I would like to also think that some of those people, instead of going into awkward activities, like marijuana and whatnot, they choose to play pool table, which is not bad, provided they can talk about some progressive aspects of life which can promote their well-being.
Okay.
But in regard to activities of that kind going on in this country, we are not surprised because this government has not provided the space for practical development in youth welfare. The argument being based on is it PDM?
Parish development model.
Yeah, that project should have been very, very good for the young people if it was not misconceived. For example, that activity required some pilot project in a few districts, and then promoted as it would go on in terms of sharing responsibility.
I think John Ken is being very unfair, either on account of malice or intellectual dishonesty.
Let's keep it to intellectual dishonesty, maybe.
I think intellectual
malice. I haven't known him to be malicious.
I think intellectual dishonesty because he has contradicted himself here. Now, this government or President Museveni has availed all opportunities. You can do what you want, actually, almost in this country. And all avenues have been put there. Even people, to an extent of people crying that why are you so lenient and so, pampering to the young people? So in every village, we've had programs like Youth Livelihood Program. We have Emyoga. We have PDM. There are presidential industrial hubs.
Okay.
It is a skilling program, which is free of charge. Mzee John Ken. If you're 18 to 35, you're free to go and be skilled in welding, carpentry, tailoring, shoemaking, hairdressing, automobile mechanics, in Kampala here, electrical, plumbing, for free. And once you finish, the president the other day launched even a circles across the country, all the 176 administrative units of this country, including also the 5 divisions of Kampala. They have circles now with money. You can go there and borrow and start and make a living.
All right.
So there's nothing like in this country that you're there and you can't. So
thank you for
it's entirely actually
that clarification.
Up to the young people to take this opportunity, keep the leadership.
You are talking about
let's allow Mad a call to also respond to that. But in line with what the Honorable seemed to suggest, I read him as looking at the glass as half empty, not half full, so to speak. But I know it's okay. Somebody can do what they want, when they want to do it. But sometimes they are doing that because they don't have an alternative. Maybe the search for more productive endeavors has not been forthcoming.
Well, one thing it's like I got a different side of the picture because it is a Koboko Tax Park pool club. It's not a bar.
Pool club.
Pool club. It's not a bar.
It has members.
It has members. Pool is a sport. It's one of the games. It's a pool club.
Okay.
And these are training. That is number 1. 2. It is yes, these are training.
Thank you for enlightening me on that.
Number 2.
They are training
this
particular sport.
They are training this particular sport. You see, they actually are smartly dressed. That is number 1. Number 2, today is an important day. We are nominating presidential candidates.
That is right.
And I believe most people across the country are glued on TV to see who is nominating today. Their candidates going to successfully nominate. So let us really not criminalize something because we didn't understand. Because our mindset is that pool is played in the bars, but this is not a bar; it is a pool club. Okay. Actually, we have elevated the game to another level. We should
and most important, nomination of
You've just given Raymond ammunition.
Yes, so we should actually even thank Koboko that they even have a club for pool. I think should be one of its kind in the country. So other parts of the country should even go to Koboko and benchmark how they are doing it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a lovely point of view, and that is why many times sharing ideas is great because it completely opens eyes to new things, but it does not leave the fact that many could actually be taking advantage of the fact that there is very little to do. Now let's focus a little bit more on the nomination and how it's going to go or expected to go. The amount of resources required for this particular day are enormous, and many parties, if the words of John Henry Chams are anything to go by, are feeling the pinch of exactly how they will roll this out. We shall be talking about that very shortly, but for now, allow me go to Julius Ochen in Lira to also give us a snapshot of what is happening there in light of today's events that, of course, headlined by the nomination and the address of a political rally by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is chairman of the National Resistance Movement. Good morning, Julius.
Morning viewers, I'm right now standing at Coronation Park in Lira City East, where elders from Lango during independence on the 10th of 1962 gathered here, this very ground, to receive independence. And as you see behind me, that is the symbol of independence of Uganda and Lango. These elders were here and they were tuning to Radio Uganda, the only radio then, to listen to the announcement of independence. That's where I'm standing, in Lira City. Today, as we are getting to nominate the presidents, Lango is also expecting something from the one who will be nominated and will be elected in 2016 as the president of the Republic of Uganda. Right now, I have my guest, Mr. Okello, who is going to talk to us about this nomination. Could you please tell me, what would be your take on this nomination?
We are going to be very happy when we elect, or Uganda will elect a very serious candidate as per seat of presidential election that is coming 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you think our people from Lango will benefit from the president who will be nominated today and will be elected in 2016?
Yeah, basically we are looking at a point of improvement of household development as the current sitting is already taken on, and then improvement of our infrastructure, and then schools, health. That is what we are really looking at. And anybody who is going to take that seat, we hopefully believe that they are going to give us all those quality services that we are talking about. Yeah, that's what we are really looking at. And now we pray that every growth that is in Uganda shouldn't be wasted by the election that is coming. We pray that the growth and the development that is taking place right now carried on with the coming election that is coming on 2026. Anybody who will be chosen by God, because the leader is always chosen by God, we believe that he's going to make the country a better place to live, and he's going to make the country peaceful, just like the way we are really seeing. The Uganda is living in a very good condition. That is our prayer as Lango, and we believe in good leadership. We believe in the growth and the development that a country should go through, and anybody outside the Lango should also be speaking the same language, because the time comes in and the time goes. But when the time comes, we should see what we are going to have for today and tomorrow for the betterment of our children.
What would be that particular needs that that person would address, especially in Lango here?
In Lango here, we want to talk about the infrastructure. We want to talk about the growth of our younger generation. And also at the same time, we are looking at the level of education that is going on. We want to appreciate there are so many schools that is upcoming under this leadership, of which we believe that anybody who will be elected is going to carry on even more than what we are seeing right now. That is our prayer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okel, for your time. I now take you back to the studio in Kampala. I'm Julius Chen reporting for NTV in Lira City. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Julius Ochen, for bringing us up to speed with what's happening in Lira, and of course a bit of the pulse within Lango sub-region in regard to the events that will be happening later today. It's just about half past the hour of 8 o'clock, and for those that are just joining us from wherever you're joining us, we are on a special broadcast, the presidential nominations 2025, of course leading into the 2026 presidential election, and we are of course sharing perspective with regard to what's happening, what ought to happen, what will happen, and especially as Ugandans prepare for elections. So thank you, my man. Let me return to the studio where I have Raymond Kamgisha, Director of Presidential Initiatives at State House. I also have with me Mande Akol, Pan-African Instant Political Analyst, as well as John Ken the Man Luchams, the President of the Conservative Party. There was a time, Honorable Ken Luchamzi, that the good Mande Akol questioned the foothold of the Conservative Party, and maybe you can clarify on that. The nature of the party, are you a national party or are you a Rubaga-based party?
I was perplexed to hear that notion emerge from him, because a political party, first of all, may not have any representation in parliament when it is also widespread, working for a program that will enable it to secure representation.
That's right.
A political party, the Conservative Party is one of the oldest political parties in Uganda, and as representation almost in every part of the country. Toro, you have Katenta Puli, I think you have heard about Ambassador Katenta Puli. Was at one time our representative in the CA. In Acholi, we have contested several parliamentary seats, although our candidates did not go through. In Bunyoro, in Mubende, in Busoga, our national chairman used to come from Busoga. So I think Mr. Kor should understand that Roma was not built in one day.
Okay.
We are still struggling to attain maximum support for the party, but our aspirations are national. And judging from what I have particularly seen in Parliament, we have left a record of performance in our representation. He does not possibly know that it was the Conservative Party that passed a motion in Parliament to propose that the talks between Uganda and the Lord's Resistance Army take place in Juba, and the motion, I think, passed through a one-man.
And we all know that that war ended, and Joseph Kony is facing trial in absence.
Much as the NRM that is worshipping has never recognized our contribution along these lines.
I don't know about his worship of the National Resistance Movement. But talking about form and nature of any one political entity, the PLU has endorsed President Museveni, and if the report carried here by our good Damali Mukai in the Daily Monitor is anything to go by, they will be jointly escorting President Yoweri Museveni for nomination. So we see the PLU, a political pressure group that is either seeking to be in some form of coalition or alliance with the National Resistance Movement, yet its very nature is actually NRM. I do not know where the nomenclature disturbs, especially me, but since you are within the ruling party's various structures, maybe you could best explain this to us right now.
Actually, I'm a member of PLU.
I was only big.
Yes.
I do?
Yes.
Yeah. So today you're escorting the president for nomination.
Yes, I'm a member of PLU and a proud member actually of PLU. It's not a political pressure group. It's this is a civic organization. Because we know where political parties are registered.
Okay.
One, it's a group of patriots, like thinking-minded people who want certain things done in a certain way in this country. To see continuity, to see a lot of things. We are against corruption, for example, and the way some things are run. So it is, I think, very good that the leadership of PLU chose to endorse the president, who is General Kaguta Museveni, and they are saying that tomorrow will be, today we are going to be escorting the president for nomination, and also we go for the rally. So I think it is not just members of PLU and what have you. We've been seeing a lot of trends. So efforts are being made to improve so many things here in this country. And I think it was prudent and very good for the leadership of PLU also to endorse the president. So we'll be there in big numbers. I can tell you, today will be a show of might.
All right, Monday Akol, the party officials within the National Resistance Movement and actors at the PLU say that this show of support is to avoid splitting votes and to consolidate grassroots and youth support. Was there any threat from the PLU to the National Resistance Movement's grassroots and youth support base?
Yeah, I think we also need to understand the origin of PLU, because the PLU began as MK movement. There was an MK movement across the country, and then there was a need to change the name. Then that's how they came up with PLU. And you can even see that in the last NRM primaries, there was actually PLOE versus the old guards of NRM, or PLOE versus the conservative NRM. So there has always been that
progressive versus conservative.
Progressive versus conservative. It has always been there, and since the followers of PLO, those in PLOE are looked at as the ardent supporters of General MK, and given that most of them subscribe to NRM, there has always been that need of the two groups, the conservatives and the progressive forces, actually to work together, because this is a big risk if it is not really contained. That is how bigger parties like KANU actually split, that you'll find that you have the progressives who are actually radicals, who feel that they should push away the old guards and then take over. So that has always been, and it is very important that the party as NRM really handles it before it spills over. So I think this is what we're seeing, and they seem to be working together.
Okay.
But I want to get back to John Kendeman on the issue, because politics, political parties,
because we stand the risk of losing our train of thought, especially with regard to what the PLU represents within the national resistance movement that mirrors the greater political space, where most parties that we see stumbling seem to be stuck with an old guard that do not want to let go, especially when it comes to policy rollout and leadership. Since we have with us a leader of a political party, I won't ask that we put you on the spot on how you are allowing the youth cadres within the Conservative Party to be able to hold sway, especially when it comes to decision making. But looking at the greater body politic of the country, we seem to have a very open contestation of ideas between progressive youth and conservative older politicians. So much so that a party like the National Unity Platform seems to be entirely designed and defined as youthful, that no conservative older guard want to join. Nope. Is that something that concerns you when you look at Uganda going forward in as far as our politics is concerned?
I think the dilemma we are in is man-made. That dilemma is coming because of lack of political space for young people to sort out what they want. In specifics, I would like to think that there is no political party in Uganda with distinct objectives like the Conservative Party. For example, we endeavor to ensure that Uganda goes back to the federal constitution under which the Uganda nation was born 63 years ago. We aspire to ensure that land rights are given to every Ugandan to ascertain citizenship in terms of case of belonging. We aspire to persuade Ugandans to develop while they respect the natural environment. Those three aspects are so huge in terms of political advocacy that if they were given space, we have all the chances of attracting the young population to a given political goal of meaning.
Mande Akol,
Yes.
the Democratic Party at one point was widely seen as a mentor for young politicians. That is, if UID initiative is anything to go by. That has completely dissipated because most of the actors that we grew up knowing to be UID have either formed new political vehicles, entered new arrangements, so much so that there is now no particular blueprint that is available for anyone that is seeking to enter the political space to use. Well, for mentors.
Actually, you bring in that point at a time I was also bringing it up, that when youth radicalism, when civic radicalism in a party is not contained, it's a breeding ground for breakaways. For example, we look at the key leaders of UID then, Mike Mabike. It is that structure of UID that he walked away with to form his SDP.
Okay.
You go to
he went with the system.
He went with the system. Actually, ever since he left, that marked the death of UID. You go to South Africa, when you had a very powerful youth league and radical Malema. He walked away and formed his economic party in South Africa. Now, every other time, so it comes back to what the PLO issue in NRM. That this is something that has to be really contained. That is why you see that every other time there is need for NRM and the PLO to work together. To be seen to work together. If they are not seen to be working together, this is also another danger for the party. And that is why the leaders in NRM should take it serious that NRM and the PLO should be seen to be working together, not to be actually competing against one another. That sibling rivalry we actually may cause trouble for the ruling party. So it's not something that really they can say that. So when it comes to John Ken, the man, the issue is political parties, these are vehicles of ideas. So if you've been promoting federalism, if Ugandans were in love with that structure, they should have supported it.
I think you're missing a point. Can I come in?
Please, 1 minute.
He's missing a point regrettably.
I need to transition, yeah.
The point I wanted to make is that the current dilemma in terms of politicking is based on the narrow space the ruling government is giving to political parties. Political parties are looked at as if they are NGOs. They are supposed to have a spectrum of participation and a contestation to reach every area of Uganda in public advocacy, which is lacking.
Which is lacking right now. Okay, let me go to my colleague Mbarara. I will give you this opportunity to engage, especially with regard to what the PLU means for the national resistance movement going forward, especially in line with policy rollout. But in Mbarara, we do know that on ground, things are also moving. We shall be getting an update very, very shortly. I think right about now. Let me go to my colleague, Coslin. Good morning. How is the land of milk?
Very good morning, Chris, and everyone watching us today morning on Morning at 10 TV. Thank you so much for always making us your station of choice and for always making sure that you're on. Now I'm here in Mbarara, and of course, as you're aware, the Electoral Commission, appointed today. Today we begin the presidential nominations, and of course, different candidates who are vying for the seat of president here in Republic of Uganda will avail to the offices of the Electoral Commission to be nominated. And today we hope to see the current President Yoweri Museveni, being nominated, and we shall be giving you updates here on NTV. But in Mbarara today, I'm being joined by a political analyst. He's a former RDC, he worked in so many districts. He's also a lawyer, and he'll be telling us, when you talk about Western Uganda, everyone knows that it is a stronghold for the NRM party, where the President Yoweri Museveni is the party chairman. I'm joined by Mr. Nwagaba Moses. He's here. He has been into the eye of politics for a very long time. A very good morning, Mr. Nwagaba. We want you to shed light and tell people watching Morning at 10 TV what has the NRM done for the past 40 years here in Western Uganda, and what has really failed?
Security, stability, and predictability. Those are the benchmarking begins with those three: security, stability, and predictability. That even after elections, we can go home and sleep. We can still go to schools and see our children. Money, the shilling, will not fluctuate. Inflation is under control. Those are the fundamentals of the national resistance movement in this region. Of course, there are others. The road network has improved. Electricity has been extended to the rural areas under the rural electrification program. Literacy levels have gone up. The only challenge is unemployment. And when they are skilling, they limit it to State House
I asked yesterday but one, how many have they trained? They said 15,000. If you train 15,000 people in 15 years, when will you reach the 18 million that are yearning for jobs? For us, that's the challenge now. So, but literacy is high. Capital, the nationalist movement, government, found people without capital, but they had land. But so far, maybe finally when it goes, when President Museveni retires, he may leave people without capital and also without land. Because how many people in this region still have their land purchase agreements in their houses? The agreements are with the banks, the circles, the money lenders. How many still have their agreements? If the president, on education, if the president said now, all those who have paid school fees for their children, strictly you be the people to vote me, how many now would he, how many would vote him? How many votes would he get from parents? How many have paid fees? So there is economic hardship. There is a lot of unemployment. There is no capital. Even the land is going, is following the capital. So you can see we are going to have a class of the landed gentry, the landed aristocrats, who are now using a curtain of banks, circles, and money lending businesses.
Mr. Luagaba, someone watching out there would want to know, we recently concluded the NRM primaries, but here in Ankole, the NRM flag, it is a do or die. What does it mean to have an NRM flag here in Ankole, especially if you're vying for a different member of parliament seat?
First of all, in Ankole here, you get an NRM flag. It is a license to steal elections.
To steal?
Yeah.
To rig?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've used the simple word. To steal elections is a license. Because you will steal without anyone having opportunity to report you anywhere. The police will not listen. The EC will not listen. Because you are an NRM flag bearer. So the reason you see people fighting for the flag is because they want to steal elections unhindered, unfettered, unchecked. It's a license to steal elections.
It is a license.
When you hold the flag, you are free to steal elections and without questions.
Maybe.
That's why also even at presidential level, you see there was only one form issued by Dr. Tango Doi for presidential campaigns inside the NRM party. Because even President Museveni knows that when he holds the flag, okay, still he has a license to steal elections. Like now this is going for nomination. You know what most Ugandans don't know is that, for example, Bob Wine is in elections, but Museveni is in a validation exercise. It's not an election for Museveni. It's a validation exercise. Because he knows he's going to win, but the question is now, how do I justify my victory? So he's on the justification of the victory. Where he gets the victory from, don't ask me. But what I know, me, I'll go and cast a vote for him. But even when I cast a vote for him, I don't believe that I'm electing him. I only think that I'm validating his victory. Which victory he has already got. How he earns it, don't ask me. But I'm validating his victory.
Maybe lastly, briefly.
So it's a validation exercise.
Yeah, briefly tell us, do you think religion here in Ankole, it is kind of dominates in our politics here? Briefly.
At parliamentary and other levels, not presidential. Yeah. Because at presidential, we don't have an option. You see, this is going to be the most boring presidential election in this region.
Why?
Because the President Museveni is an opposite. For us, he is an opposite. In this region, he's generally an opposite. With the Dr. Besigye in prison, with Bob Wine performing dismally in this region. In Uganda, but not here. President Museveni appears an opposite, and the election is very boring. It's going to be the most boring presidential election here. Parliamentary, maybe. But now when I speak about religion, religion is a factor in parliamentary elections. At presidential, there is no competitor. That's what I'm saying. In the region, we don't have a competitor. It's on paper, okay, de jure, but de facto. In fact, in real sense, do people feel Bobi Wine? Do they feed him in the villages? The answer is no. Even in towns, the answer is no. So, since President Museveni is an opposite, religion is not an issue at presidential level, but it's an issue at parliamentary level. And you will be seeing even here in Mbarara City how people are distributing their votes. When they elect a Catholic here, they want to elect a Protestant there. So it's an issue. Yes, and even in other areas, in rural areas, there are constituencies, even here in Mbarara, there are constituencies which are predominantly for a certain religion. And a person from a different religion, no matter how good that person is, may not win, is not likely to win, in fact, cannot win.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nwagaba Moses. He's commonly known as Ntwiga, a political analyst, a lawyer, and of course, apparently he's vying for the seat of Mbarara City North. Of course, he's on an independent card, and we really hope to see how today will be. We shall be updating you on the nominations and in our next programs. Let me handle you to Ivan Warunyoro, and he gives us an update on what is happening. A very good morning.
Well, it's still morning at NTV, and this time I am coming to you from Entebbe, which is the official, I can say, the office for the president, and this beautiful morning from Mbarara, where we have had that insightful conversation. Of course, Entebbe is not an exception, and as we speak now, of course, the NRM fraternity Entebbe is also organizing to go to Kololo airstrip to also say thank you to their candidate, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is going to be nominated this time. But it's not an exception. Away from when you drive on Entebbe roads, you are going to see a lot of deployments by the police, SFC, and the rest of other security agencies that are also ensuring that there is a lot of calmness, smoother traffic flow, and the rest of what is going. Of course, the Entebbe NRM fraternity has also organized that away from now, there will be boarding buses that I have seen some of them fueling at Shell petrol station just next to Victoria Mall here, and they will be also going to join the rest in as far as how they will be congratulating their candidate, that's Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. But away from that, I just want to pick the conversation from some of the NRM fraternity to just tell us what really this day means to them. I know a lot is being organized and the rest, but I want them to just tell us what exactly they expect from this day and why they think it's important for them to celebrate. I just start with the gentleman here to just give us good morning, and first of all, welcome to Morning at NTV.
Good morning, how are you?
Yes, so as Entebbe NRM fraternity, what does this day mean to you when your candidate is going to be nominated?
Yes, now this day means to us victory. Because when our candidate is nominating and he has maneuvered all the electoral commission guidelines, I think we are happy that our candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is going to nominate. Yes, please.
What is that one thing you want to celebrate that your candidate is coming back? Because you host his office in Entebbe.
Yes.
But now he's coming. What's that one pertinent thing you think your candidate deserved another term to be nominated for today's Yuto?
Okay, very good. First of all, my candidate is my resident. He's a fellow resident. Secondly, being a model municipality in Entebbe, we think that the president has really been there for us, and he has equipped enough programs. The tax base for revenue has increased, which means people are doing business. The elderly, the young ones, the women, all programs, you see that at least everybody, most of us are comfortable in this country. Then if you look at the passenger turnover at the airport, you see that we now at least have 250 passengers, so annually, so around 8,500 passengers per day. Those coming for conferences, those coming for tourism, those coming for seminars, so I believe, and sports events. So I believe he's credible, and we really wish him well. So
your counterparts from the opposition side, the NOP, FDs and the what, are saying, though you are talking about this you're giving to us, but there are some things which still they feel is the schools that were based back in the time, the colonial time, because this is the first colonial capital, have degraded. Yeah? And they're saying it's not to celebrate. We rather need to inform more.
I think that is not true because especially the budget I passed as a speaker, we really put a lot of more money in education. And we recently cried to the president to really give us a bigger hand to see that we uplift the infrastructure of schools, and we believe we shall do better. So I believe let the opposition observe, we shall be better than that. Yes.
Is it a hateful politics for Entebbe? We know it's been under opposition for the parliamentary seat. The president also sits in the same area. Is it hateful hate, or still you can work together for the good of the people? You have the airport, you have the lake, it's a peninsula. How do you think you can work best with the opposition for the good of the people, not the good of the party?
Oh, very good. Now with the NRM, we can work with the opposition. What we want to do, let us finish the elections, and it will be a win-win situation. Where opposition wins us, we shall work with it. Where NRM wins, but we have brought best 11. We have the best candidates for parliament, for president, for division mayors. I believe we have the best team to make it. But where the opposition tries to get a candidate...
Okay. Producer, just give me about 30 seconds. This guy is giving us how the day is going to be for the NRM fraternity. Just 30 seconds, and we will go back to David Ijo, who is on standby. But just give, how is the day going to be like for the NRM fraternity in Entebbe? Let's start with the name.
Thank you so much. My name is Joseph Ruangaru Chams Bagweira.
I have only 40 seconds.
The flag bearer at Division B chairmanship. I very much know that I'm very much aware of today's program, that it is going to be a very massive program today. The nomination of our candidate, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because he has done a lot in our city here in Entebbe. He has provided a lot of development programs. That's why we are here.
So from Kororo, where you are going, what next? I know you are going to Kororo.
From Kororo, actually, we shall continue with the celebrations because the whole thing will be done at Kororo. We shall do everything at Kororo. Yes.
Okay. So you rally your people to join you to Kororo?
Of course, that's why I'm here. I want all the NRM supporters or whatever they come from, those of Entebbe and those from out of Entebbe, to join us at Kororo, such that we escort our candidate.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is just the NRM team that is just giving us a perspective. But as I link to David Ijo, just maybe a few minutes from now, we will come back to do a check and balance. We will have maybe the opposition in Entebbe to also tell us what are some of those nitty-gritties that they think the NRM should have focused on, or as they vie for this term of. But now I want to join my colleague David Ijo from the Electoral Commission headquarters. What is happening there? What can you tell us? David, can you get me?
I hear you so well, my brother Ivan Kamana Walonyolo from Entebbe, and I would like to thank my colleague Koslin as well in Mbarara. I'm coming to you live from Loeza here, just about 2 kilometers from the Electoral Commission headquarters, where the nominations are going to be taking place. As you can hear in my background, commissioners are arriving, and different commissioners have started arriving. Of course, as NTV, we've not been allowed inside by the presidential security, that's the SFC, for reasons best known to them and not known to us, but we'll keep around pitching an eye to eye. But that aside, today is the genesis of the presidential nominations, as was announced yesterday by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama. And of course, as we did here yesterday, Byabakama told us so far 5 presidential candidates were cleared for nomination today, out of about 36 who had expressed interest, and we are yet to know whether out of the 30 and about, more will be lined up for tomorrow or no. But among the 5 presidential candidates, of course, today we expect citizen number 1 himself, the incumbent, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, at 10 a.m., who will be picking up his nominations. And later on in the day there, we expect Elton Joseph Mabirizi, rather, of the Conservative Party, and one gentleman whose name I need to clarify is called
Robert Kasibante of the National Peasants Party, NPP. These are some of the candidates that we expect today. And of course tomorrow, so far we know Robert Chagulanyi, the National Unity Platform president, will be in here at 2 p.m. But also Nathan Nandala Mafabi will be here at 10 a.m. That is tomorrow. We are yet to know whether others of the 30 and above will be cleared by the Electoral Commission. That aside, the Electoral Commission yesterday did put a number of guidelines for the presidential candidates. Of course, they are supposed to come here physically by themselves, no sending, delegates. Apart from the incumbent President Museveni, maybe due to the nature of the office that he holds and logistics that may come here, he's the only exemption, but other presidential candidates have been tasked to come here physically for their nominations. And of course, some of the guidelines that I would read out for you include, some of the requirements is a maximum of 20 seconders for every presidential candidate, and then only 2 vehicles accompanying the presidential candidates, strictly 2. And then a senior 6 certificate or USCE certificate, which is, or its equivalent rather, 3 passport-sized photos, and then proof of payment of shillings 20 million nomination fees. These are some of the requirements that were listed out by the Electoral Commission. After they are nominated, the candidates will speak, each of them will speak briefly to the media, probably highlight their manifestos on what they have for the country, and after that, they will set off for their nomination rallies. For example, President Museveni today, after here, is scheduled to have a nomination rally in Kololo where he will be addressing his supporters. I do not know about Elton Malema Birizi as of now, neither do I know about Robert Kasibante, but Robert Chagulanyi, who tomorrow will also be addressing his rally at Natete. That's after one of his planned rallies in Katwe was called off by the police. Also, Nathan Nandala Mafabi will be addressing tomorrow a rally in somewhere around Luzira. That's according to the FDC schedule. But on the side of police, of course, police did also issue out guidelines. No crowds are allowed. Candidates have been barred from moving with their, with bunch of their supporters to the nomination ground. Chaos has also been put on hold or cautioned by the police itself. And then on the side of traffic, there is a lot of diversions. If you can see in my background, vehicles are moving at a slow pace. I understand that there's going to be a major diversion. At about 10, when the president is making his way here, there's going to be a major diversion. For those coming from Entebbe, there will be a diversion from Chisubi to Nakauka. Those coming from Entebbe and accessing the city. And of course, we've also witnessed a bit of diversions. And then for the side, for the residents who are staying around where the Electoral Commission headquarters or where the nominations is going to happen, we understand they've been given access, stickers, for them to access their residence in and out, whichever time they wish. I mean, apart from when the president makes his way here. That is on the side of traffic. Now, of course, after today and tomorrow's nomination exercise, according to the Electoral Commission, campaigns are supposed to begin officially on September 29th. That is next week on Monday. And of course, the Electoral Commission also did guide that the candidates should submit their campaign schedules and roadmaps on time so that they can be realigned. So far, that is a bit of the update that I have for you for today. We are right now, it's about 9:05, probably 55 minutes as we wait for the president himself, who is going to be the first candidate to be nominated by the Independent Electoral Commission. More and more of these updates are going to be brought to you live on NTV at 1 and on our subsequent bulletins, NTV Akaungezi and NTV Tonight with me, David Dijo, my colleague Peter Serugo and the entire team here. Of course, not forgetting Spark TV Agafeyo at 10. For now, allow me